Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien on the morning of Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. Stand by for commentary. Well, Americans, it's getting a little iffy here. This political season is getting to be disastrous, isn't it? For one, you got the stupid House Republican Speaker bowing to extremist rightist pressure and putting a impeachment to the U.S. president because they impeached her, so we gotta impeach theirs. Yeah, really, how stupid can you get? Anyway, you taken a word like impeachment and put it down in the gutter. That is crazy. Democrats have done it and Republicans have done it. So you're both guilty of that. And then you got two candidates here that are worth nothing. I mean, people hate Donald Trump, so they'll vote for Joseph Biden if they have to. But his approval rating is awful. And that's nothing personal against the president. It's just the way things are looking out there. People are telling him to step down because they can see the writing on the wall. And the extremist Republicans can't see the writing on the wall over there with Donald J. Trump. And how about you 100 million plus, I don't give a damn, non-voters? What are you doing about this? See, the problem for the extremist leftist Democrats is you got a strange vice president there, Kamala Harris. But remember, you Democrats, you put people like her there, and it's cost you all through your history. All you have to do is go back to Tippecanoe and Tyler, too. Oh, rough and ready, and don't forget Mr. Fillmore. Yeah, remember Tippecanoe? But how about Tyler, too, and Mr. Fillmore? The Republicans tried a strange ticket. They called it a union ticket, so they put Mr. Johnson there. Oh, boy, did that come back to bite him in the butt, didn't it? Yeah. And how about the Democrats? They didn't like Mr. Chester Arthur, so they put him in the vice presidency where you put everybody you don't like. And, well, somebody didn't like Mr. Garfield, and, wow, we know what happened there, huh? The Republicans, okay, we don't like Theodore Roosevelt. He's causing a problem here. So let's put him in there with Mr. Hot Pants there, McKinley. He's a little fat, but he'll still win the election. He did. And he croaked. Somebody didn't like him, so you had to deal with old Teddy. Boy, ain't that something? Yeah. And then the Democrats, well, you know, Mr. Truman there from Missouri is causing us a lot of problems. Yeah, so let's stick him in the we don't like. They didn't check their history, did they? So they put him in as vice president again. And, well, unfortunately, the Depression and World War II had really taken its toll on President FDR, and he croaked, of all places, in Warm Springs, Georgia. Poor guy. And he had his lady over there, and it wasn't Mrs. Roosevelt. Oh, boy, what a nightmare that was in 1945. So you're dealt with. Give him hell, Harry. And his first decision, dropped the bomb on those Jappies. Yeah. And then later on in his own term that he won in his own right, after Chicago's Tribune said, Dewey wins! Yeah, he fired Mr. MacArthur, who said, "Old soldiers never die, they just fade away." And then you had JFK, all proper and, lady guy, worse than Warren G. Harding. He didn't like Mr. Lyndon Johnson, so he stuck him in the vice presidency, the Democratic Party did, and sent them all over the place from 1960 to 63. It was so bad that Mr. Johnson was drinking a little heavily and wanted to call it quits, until fate intervened in Dallas on November 22nd, 1963. And lo and behold, you got Mr. Johnson, who saved the African Americans, and he was as, how would you say, racist as they came in the 1930s, people. I mean, Mr. Johnson, he was up there. And that's what surprised me, that he put the voting right in place in 65. But then again, he took Vietnam and it just killed him. Kennedy's Vietnam came back to haunt him. So Kennedy was in his grave hunting poor Mr. Johnson. And it turned out that Mr. Cronkite said, the war is going terrible for America. And all Mr. Johnson said is, "I lost Walter Cronkite, so I'm not running for president. I will not accept and I will not seek another term as your president." See what I mean, Democrats? So here you are. Let Mr. Biden run. Put Mrs. Harris. He is a racist. Which is what she said when she was running against him, wasn't it? Yeah. Back in the vice presidency, and, well, you got the recipe that you have done for a century and a half, Democrats. It's going to come back and kill you. The Republicans did it once under Teddy. But, hey, it'll be 100 years since, it's been 100 years since, Mr. Warren G. Harding wrote, "Are we going to have another Calvin Coolidge?" Yeah, really? We don't know, do we? So you see, Democrats, you got the same problems that the Republicans do. You don't have a good guy out there. You just got extremist leftists and extremist rightists on the Republican side. It's a Kobayashi Maru. This is your favorite alien. Good day.